What's going on, guys? Welcome to today's training. My name is JWill. I'm the official Build Credit Training Educator. And today I'm here to tell you a little bit about myself and go into some trainings about how you can have a better credit profile and how I can get you guys into a better credit situation. A little bit about myself. My name is JWill. I have a 7-year military background working with professionals like Rangers and Special Forces. I've been a CEO of multiple companies. I've gone 0 to 50,000 plus clients in credit repair, and we were able to generate results of over $100 million of deletions for the clients that we've worked with in the past. This is why you guys want to take copious notes for the information below, and make sure if you have any questions, seek out advice from a local professional. I am not a financial advisor, nor am I a tax professional. I am simply the educator that's going to bring the information to you. That way you guys can make a great decision about what you're doing moving forward. Credit bureaus, or CRAs, are not government agencies as much as they'd want you to think they are. Even though they're called credit bureaus, you think of the FBI and so on. They're actually not that. They're for-profit businesses, no different than Amazon or Target or Walmart. So their job is to be able to work with the lenders to be able to provide you the situation that matches what you have going on the best. That way, a lender can capitalize on your situation. If you have bad credit, a lender wants to give you a higher interest rate, so it behooves the credit bureaus who have a connection with the lender, a deal, it behooves them to make sure that you have negative items reporting on your credit report. Personal profile. When your names, addresses don't match up, that allows for multiple listings on your credit report. It allows them to tie other people that are not you to your credit report, and allows you to have multiple negative items on that report that is reflecting over and over. It's really impacting your score. Number one thing I recommend right off the bat is take care of that personal profile. Hard inquiries for most people are going to be when you go and run your credit. There is a difference between soft inquiries and hard inquiries. What's the difference? A soft inquiry is not going to really taint your credit report. What a soft inquiry does is it's going to be qualifying you to be a credible person to lend to. Now, a hard inquiry is an official qualification of you being able to take lending from any specific vendor or lender. Typically, a hard inquiry affects your credit profile 3 to 5 points for each hard inquiry. So for example, if you had 5 of them and they're 3 points each, that's 15 points that your credit score just dropped by running your credit. What I recommend is don't run your credit in multiple months. If you're going to do something, a house, a car, lending, make sure that you do that, compress that into 30 days. Typically, the bureaus will channel all of those inquiries as one because they know you're looking for lending at that one time. It's no guarantee, but it's a better shot at reducing the impact to your credit profile. Late payments. The higher your credit score is, the more late payments affect your credit score. On average, 30 anywhere to 80 points depending on your credit score. So the more late payments you have and the more derogatory they are, as in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, those really start to impact your profile. Especially if you were somebody that was in the higher 7s, you're gonna take a drastic impact with just one late payment. Collections and negative accounts. Now these are gonna be collections and negative accounts are basically your account representing how many times you've been negative over and over and over, and then it gets sent over to a collections department. Sometimes it gets outsourced to another collections company. Now, it is illegal under the FCRA, which is the Fair Credit Reporting Act, to sell your information to a third-party collector and then be able to collect upon that debt. That is something that is illegal. However, collections do affect your credit report drastically, just like late payments, anywhere between 30 and 80 points per collection. This is something that we can target for dispute based on the information that you provide us and what we can do on your profile. When collections go 90 days plus late, what typically happens is what's called a charge-off. And what that is a vendor being able to take your credit, that trade line account that's been negative for maybe 90 or 120 days, and the vendor basically says, hey, this guy's not paying his collection, we're never gonna get the money, we wanna be rid of this client. So what they do is they go file with the government and they do what's called a charge-off, and that gives the vendor a tax credit. It really doesn't do anything for you. It puts that one account into a bankruptcy type of status, and what that does is that impacts your credit profile even more. So charge-offs are gonna be something that are almost as hardful as a public record or bankruptcy. Bankruptcies, whether it's a Chapter 11, Chapter 7, or Chapter 13, that drastically impacts your credit report anywhere between 60 to 120 points. They don't come off your credit for about 10 years on average. It's very difficult to get a bankruptcy removed. In my experience, I have seen them removed. However, it is diligent. It does take extensive amounts of work, but it is possible to get it removed from your profile. Let's talk about credit usage and how it affects your profile. 10% is gonna be for the different types of credit vendors that you get, whether it's a car loan, a credit card, a line of credit. 10% is gonna be based on just new credit. 15% is gonna be based on the credit length and credit history. 30% is gonna be based on your accounts owed. 35%, the biggest amount is gonna be on the payment history itself. So recognize 65% of your credit report is based on the payments and how much it's owed. So keeping those balances low, I recommend less than 10% is gonna get you the highest probability to not just get qualified, but get qualified for the best rate, the best funding, and the best type of accounts. Trade line is a very simple word that people like to use that basically means an account on your credit profile. So there's positive trade lines and negative trade lines. There's also trade lines that you can add to boost or increase your credit profile. These are what's called authorized users or prime trade line accounts that you can add. What those will do, in my experience, is boost your credit anywhere between 30 and 75 points per authorized user account or per positive trade line you're able to acquire. These are different things that you can get from different vendors. Do your due diligence. Some are better than others. Find out what works best for you. Lastly, public records. So the way I like to describe credit repair and credit in general is it's kind of like clothes. You know, if you're late on your payments, late on your bills, you have child support, you have judgments, you have public records, I consider you kind of dirty. You're kind of dirty. And just because you do credit repair, that means you're going to throw on a fresh pair of clothes. When you go and see somebody, they're not going to see all those negative, dirty things when you have a fresh pair of clothes on. But what that does mean is just because you're able to do credit repair and remove these negative public records off your credit profile, number one, it does not mean you don't owe that debt. Just like if you throw on clean clothes when you never took a shower, you're still dirty, right? And number two, you have to understand that this is a public record. This is with the judicial system, which means the likelihood that it gets reported back on your profile is very likely. However, it doesn't mean it can't be removed for you to go out and get the type of lending, home, car, business, whatever the case may be, that you need to take care of your family and your situation. Hopefully you guys got some value. I'll see you guys all at the top. This is JWill.